This is Mr. Landshark bringing the finest on what to Retribution cast this side of East Yorkshire, and today we have a 3 versus 3 on Argent Shelf. On the red team we have TM Roscon, Serios, I'm going to call him Ross, playing as a Hive Tyrant. We have TheFragger playing as a Plague Champion, and we have AlliedGull67 playing as a War Boss. Pardon me. On the blue team we have fucking Llama Biohazard playing as a Farseer, we have Moutarde playing as a Tech Marine, and we have HeyGringo playing as a Force Commander. You might be able to pick up on me being slightly, ever so slightly, annoyed in this cast. This is the third attempt at me recording. This game's about 34 minutes long. That's probably not going to cause any spoilers purely because you can probably see it on the video length on YouTube anyway. But I casted this entire game and then found out that my microphone wasn't switched on. So I was quite annoyed at that. And then I got halfway through re-recording this, but because I was online on Steam and my internet connection being more or less arse, my internet disconnected. And then even though I wasn't even playing a game, because I got disconnected, I then had to leave the cast. And so this is my third and final time at casting this, but it is a good game, and I demand that you watch this, because by the time I finish this, I will have spent more or less maybe like an hour and 20 minutes watching the same fucking game. But anyway, enough of my bitching. Farseer has gone down. Howling Banshees scaring away this Plague Champion. Eldar and Space Marines will be moving up this way, going to be engaging these Chaos Space Marines. These Chaos Space Marines will want to retreat. Tyranids are going to be decapping this Power Nerd. And now we'll be moving further up this way. Due to the really awkward cover placement, these Space Marines will not be able to escape or retreat properly. This Transport Turret managing to be a slight saving grace for these Scouts and Space Marines, helping them retreat while the Homogods are being suppressed. However, it's kind of bittersweet, this Tarantula Turret, since although it can suppress all these guys, the Hive Tyrant cannot be suppressed. So the Hive Tyrant, the Tyranids already have a hard counter to the Tarantula Turret, which is just the hero, which you don't even need to pay for, so. But hey, it's fairly useful if they can scare him away. Which, will they take him down? I don't know, will they take him down? I haven't seen this before. Oh, will he go down? Will he go down? Actually, that caught me last once. I thought he survived. So, maybe in my anger, my brain has took pity on me and is allowing me to forget things. But yeah, blue team do. Red team do a really good job at doing power harass in this game. They've managed to decap this. They're going to be doing some power harass here, but also just a really interesting point that you might want to try in your own games. If your opponents, if you manage to scare your opponents away, and you they haven't built any power generators or anything, if you manage to decap the power nerd and build something on it, not only does it stop them from building anything, but it also stops them from it just generally stops them from having power for quite a long time, as opposed to just decapping the power nerd and then just leaving it alone. So blue team very much on the back foot for power. Obviously they've got 15 as opposed to the red team's 44. So yeah. And how do I switch back? Ah, there we go, switch back. So heavy mortar turret just being placed here, doing a very good job at suppressing all these units, maybe forcing these guys to retreat, maybe not. Force Commander will be forced to retreat due to all this firepower from the Termagant broods. Eldar Guardian Squad's been very well placed behind the heavy bolter turret. If it was maybe placed just a little bit here, just a little bit further back, this avenue of entrance would have been impossible, but there you go. Although, mind you, placement of turrets and energy shields on Dawn of War, sometimes it's very awkward. Sometimes you'll have like a really open space, and if you place like a energy shield this way it won't work, but if you place it there it will work. Bit of a wasted grenade shot, but then again, you may as well. I mean, those who try. Oh, what is it? He who dares wins. That's the wording I was looking for. Tech Marine will go down, maybe. Yes, he will go down. It looked like his own transit took him down then, but that's probably not how it went. Grenade barrage going to be knocking down some of these units, but then again, Space Marines can handle something like a grenade barrage, so they will not be all that fussed about it. Shooter boys are going to try and decapture this. Will these guys move up? Yeah, they will. Howling Bench is not sure where they just came from. Oh, they've just capped this, and now they're going to be decapping. Space Marines are going to, well, they're just not going to be happy engaging this Hive Tyrant. Maybe using, oh no, these are scouts, they won't have any Kraken bolts. But obviously, again, doing that strategy that I mentioned, where if there's like a melee unit trying to engage you, you retreat with one unit, fire with another, and then keep on doing that. However, obviously, with 2 Termagant Broods with Toxin Sacks and a Warrior Brood with Barb Strangler, these guys are not going to do very well by themselves. Unsupported. Tactical Marines moving up, just cementing their hold on the middle. Blue team now with a power node in the middle being built on. Power nodes now being built. Well, their naturals are now being built on, so now they've got they're almost just above halfway for the power of the red team. Red team now going, 2 players are now going tier 2. Obviously that's the problem when you lose out on power at the beginning of the game. You have to go tier 2 at a lot of a later stage. Now all of red team is going to go tier 3 as opposed to red team, or as opposed to only blue team just starting to go tier 2 now. Not all of blue team is close to tier 2 yet. Some might say that those were like wasted grenades that the Eldar player just threw there, and you know, I'd kind of agree, but then again there are some uses for throwing grenades to stop people from advancing towards you. Obviously if you throw grenades in front of you, or people are running towards you, and your only objective is to keep them away from you, then throwing grenades is a perfect deterrent, especially when you know that you can't win, and you want to move your Guardians up a little bit, at least to like the cover. You know, they get the advantage of the cover and they get out of this bile spewed that the Plague Champion threw at you. Eldar will now have a full retreat, and the victory point will fall back. Fall back into the hands of the red team. Obviously, as you can tell, I've been doing this for quite a while, so my words are even more bog-eyed than normal. The Tactical Marine almost going down, surviving with 3 health. The bunker is being occupied by some Havocs. Very good, considering that not only are the Toxin Sacks suppressing these guys, but also the Warrior Brood is suppressing these guys along with the Havoc. So this is just suppression corner right here. These guys just simply point blank do not want to be here in any way, shape or form. They will have to retreat at some point, maybe. Anytime now. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Probably won't. And now these Devastators, obviously not having the best time of their lives. Kraken Bolts now going for the Tactical Marines. Probably trying to engage as much as they can on the Warrior Brood. Although now, as you can see, all these guys have just leveled up. Obviously, the thing about overextending is that even if you do kill a few of their units, you also lose some of your units. And if you engage in a battle that you can't win, you're essentially just giving them experience. So you're not helping yourself by engaging in a battle that you can't win. We now have the Eldar flanking the Tyranids. Howling Badge is going to be moving in, probably suppressing all these guys. Double grenades being thrown into the Havoc bunker, killing more or less all of them, and I'm not sure how much they have left. Yeah, 1 man left, forcing these guys to reset so they can't suppress any of these guys. They will be forced to retreat, so very well done. Teamwork being a very key factor in this game. That was a very fine example of teamwork. I can only presume that these guys are talking on microphones. We now have a Wraith Lord coming in for Biohazard and a Dreadnought coming in for Moutarde. So blue team all now tier 2, going quite heavy on the walkers. We now have a Bloodthirster just coming in, forcing all these Guardians to retreat, even though they're like more or less full health. That's the thing about Bloodthirsters and just general scary units like Bloodthirsters, is that they can pressure or at least scare somebody into doing a quick retreat. You know what I mean? We've all accidentally done it where we think we stepped in some deep shit, so we retreat like our entire army, even though only one unit's slightly damaged, and we could still probably stick in. But yeah, Bloodthirster's very good unit in the sense that they force your opponent to get at least some form of anti-vehicle unit or weapon for their hero, especially when your allies are going quite heavy on infantry, as you can see here. I mean, what these tactical marines have got plasma guns. What else have they got? They've got plasma guns. There we go, and flamers, which are perfectly good upgrades against termagants and warriors and stuff like that. You force them to get missile launchers. Not only do they become less effective against these guys, but well, I mean that's essentially it. That's the only thing. I said that like as if there was going to be 2 points in that, but no, there was only 1 point to be had in that. Now this actually, if you look closer, just random runes just flying off. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just going insane. But yeah, Riffle just moving in, just going to be bashing this heavy bolter turret. So now these guys can move up. Stick bombs, mind you, standing here in waiting. Probably just waiting for one unit to just stand still and capture. Although obviously they... Oh, Moldo, mind you, very poorly thrown. Obviously got to throw at where they are going rather than where they are. Trying to decap that requisition. Wasted howling shriek banshee thing. Wraithlord being wasted here, being thrown in the middle. He cannot retreat, obviously, being surrounded. Not only by a war boss with a power claw and a boss pole, but also by Chaos Dreadnought with Marcus Inch, Chaos Heretics, you know, just so much that they did not want. I mean, that was the perfect response to a Wraithlord. Very, very unfortunate. Now we have another Dreadnought for HeyGringo. We have Tactical Marines moving up, a nice blob of 1, 2, 3, 4. A nice mixture of units as well. We have got double plasma guns and double missiles, so you know, whatever these guys come up with, they'll be able to counter. This Dreadnought now moving up. I'm going to try and take on this heavy bolter turret. Now while the heavy bolter is engaging this Dreadnought, the Tactical Marines with missile launchers were able to get in closer to fire. This heavy warrior brood is now about to go down. Will it... Actually, I think I remember this as being the most lucky escape ever. There we go. Heavy warrior brood surviving with 1 health. Single-handedly the most luckiest save I've ever seen. Noxious Cloud now going down for the Chaos player. Doing gradual, lots of damage to anything in there. Scout Squad goes down. And now we have some Nob Squads with some grenades coming in. Very well organised assault. This Space Marine almost escapes. 48 health. This heavy bottle will come down. But again, another example of teamwork. You know, the Orcs coming in, flanking from the side with their grenades and their knobs. The Hive Tyrants and Tyranids with their supportive fire with their Zoanthropes and their Termagants. And then the Chaos player, even though he wasn't in that, very much had the Noxious Cloud doing general damage. So very well done in the teamwork department. Dreadnought thinking, you know what, this is not for me, I am going to avoid this. Guardians thinking, no, I also don't want to get involved in this. And now, although that was a good way to force the Orc player to waste a couple of grenades, one grenade being thrown in, followed by a series of others, and just look how much damage it does even to a Force Commander. Let's have a look at the upgrades. Force Commander for HeyGringo has got a Thunder Hammer and an Iron Hailer. Moutarde has got nothing. The Farseer has got a Gravity Blade, a Rune Armor and Spirit Stones. Allied Gull has got a Power Claw, Heavy Armor and a Boss Pole. Fragger's got... oh, he's got a... friggin' what's it called? A Bile Spewer. Can't see obviously because he's knocked down. And Roscon has got a Crushing Claws and Bonded Exoskeletons. We now have double Tactical Marines moving to the right. It is the calm before the storm. Everyone's just generally chilling. Not much to say about that, just death. Death and sadness. I do apologise for my tiredness. These Tactical Marines were forced away. Obviously, 2 Tactical Marines versus the Tyranid army. It's, you know, no-brainer who's going to win that. Dreadnought now just going to engage. This is another example of a waste of units. I mean, that Blood Crusher, there was no need for that Blood Crusher to die. You know, I mean, try and make your units survive for as long as possible. I mean, because they cost money, don't they? And again, another thing, you know, Dreadnought just standing here, not being supported. You know, managed to be taken out by the tank busters, and this entire army is looking quite scary now. Combination of not only Tyranids but also Orcs. Both army styles favour the idea of swamping and massing up infantry and units. You know, that's probably as scary as you'd ever want to see an army like this. Torrential Turret is now going to go down, and these Space Marines are going to be knocked back, pushed back even. The Space Marines now moving up this narrow churk. You'll be able to see why churks are quite important. Obviously, grenades, going down here, just destroying all kinds of stuff, forcing these guys to retreat. This Space Marine squad now getting destroyed, being thrown aside by this pirate orc. But churks in this game, not many people understand the concept of churks, especially in Dawn of War. Churks are better understood in the StarCraft community, in the sense that if you've got like a mass of units and they're all going through a churk, that means all the units be more clumped up. So they're easier to suppress, they're easier to hit with grenades, you know, just general AoE damage. So, you know, I mean, try and use churks to your advantage. Like, here's a churk, you know, that's an example of a churk. You know, just keep those in mind. Howling Bunch is now going to be engaging these Chaos Space Marines. Obviously, with all these guys with the majority of the Red Army coming down here, just all kind of like clumping together, they're not doing a very good job at capturing all the victory points. More grenades being thrown down this way, scaring away these Tactical Marines. These Tactical Marines may as well fall back. They are extremely low on health. There's no point in engaging when you're so low on health. Although there's an example of throwing grenades behind someone, forcing you to move forward to avoid the grenade blast radius, and then obviously your men in close combat can then engage them and do damage to them. Then again, vulnerable Dreadnought being dropped in, forcing these guys to retreat. They were very they were very badly spread out, and while the Space Marine player was retreating, he had a nicely set up Devastator, so he was suppressing anyone trying to chase after. We now have a Swarm Lord for Roscon. And we also have double... do we have double Zinch upgrades? No, just one. And a Fire Prism. Moving very close. Not very well advised. We have some rocks. Here's another example of really good teamwork. Although, mind you, so we've got the rocks going down here. We've got the Terraform going down here. Does quite a lot more damage to Swarm Lord than anything else. You know, I mean, the rocks more or less like decimated the Swarm Lord's health, along with the Capillary Towers. I'm not even sure if the Capillary Towers can do friendly fire to their own units, but the proof is in the pudding. The Swarm Lord will now have to fall back due to such low health. And now the Hive Tower is being slowly but surely smacked around by the Howling Banshees. Plague Marines are going to try and do some damage to this Fire Prism, however, being supported by the Terminator squads with their assault cannons, they will not be able to do much damage. So even though, as we can see here, the Oh, nice Carnifex there. I love this colour scheme, by the way. Yellow and pink. It's very nice colour scheme. But as you can see, the blue team, although having a absolutely huge advantage, not only in unit composition, but also unit size. I mean, army size and army count. We're not doing it. They don't have a massive advantage when it comes down to VP. I mean, victory points. 2-1-4 to the blue team and 2-6-2 to the red team. Very nice Eldritch Storm being thrown down there by the Eldar player, forcing half the Orc army to fall back, giving these Terminators and the Fire Prism a lot less to worry about. These Terminators, although they can't retreat, a lot less that's firing at them, the better and more chance they have of surviving without losing any expensive models. Fire Prism kind of just falling back, just kind of chicking in away. Sucker Boys level 3. Actually, these close combat units, both level 3, doing very good at keeping their close combat units alive. Very hard to keep those units alive, especially in especially in this time period. You know, for 20,000 years into the future, I think it is. Or no, sorry, it's 40,000 years into the future. Obviously, Warhammer 40k. You know, guns and stuff. Guns very difficult to stop your close combat units from dying. These tank busters will go down to the Howling Benches. The Warboss will be scared away by just general damage. And the Termagant Broods, oh Jesus Christ, taking a hell of a lot of damage. Level 3, 2 level 3 Termagant Broods, now nothing but a pink smear on the floor. Very unfortunate. I'm not sure whether he was distracted. Yeah, he was probably distracted by stuff up here. Losing a Carnifex to the Predator. Swarmlord now moving in, going to be trying to smack around this Tech Marine. Although he could just take on this Tactical Marine Squad. Tactical Marine Squad will retreat. Probably favouring the destruction of the Tech Marine. He will now focus down on this Predator. This vulnerable Dreadnought, trying to do as much damage as he can to the Hive Tyrant. The Hive Tyrant with his Crushing Claws will be, and being supported by Zone Threat, will be able to do quite a lot of damage. However, obviously surviving. Oh no, not surviving. Oh, well, yeah, he does survive because he's got his surviving with 1 health, but putting his energy shield up. And now he goes down. Obviously, that's what happens with the vulnerable Dreadnought. Once it's got 1 health left, puts his energy shield up, survives for a little lot longer, and then dies. Predator also goes down, but another Predator has come along, manages to destroy this power node. Maybe wanting to engage on this Hive Tyrant since it is extraordinarily low on health. The Force Commander probably been forgot about. And now there's Chaos Predator. Chaos Predator, this is just Predator and normal. In a little bit of trouble again. I apologise again. This Predator in a very precarious position, considering that no matter which way he turns, he'll expose his rear armour to these Plague Marines. Plague Marines obviously very useful against Predators, since they have obviously missile launchers. And this tank will probably go down. We have an Avatar, and so much death and destruction going on down here. Noxious gas scaring away quite a few of these Eldar units. Avatar, and I'm not sure what this is. This is a gravity field from the Farseer. So stopping a lot of the close combat going on to the Avatar. Could have used it a little bit closer, mind. Although the Avatar will go down. Not before he uses some Wailing Doom. Will he get this off? And he will get it off. Not only does it spread out the Orc units, but it will also do a hell of a lot of damage. Avatar does go down, however. Alec Benches. So second. Oh, he's chasing after this Knob Squad. However, he could take on this friggin' what's it called? Stick Bomb Squad. They're being forgotten about, you mind you. Will they be forgotten about until they die? I can vouch that they don't. And they will survive to fight another day. Chaos Predator. I keep on calling them Chaos Predators. They're not Chaos Predators. This is a Chaos Predator. But he was trying to engage the Knob Squads. And doing a fairly good job. Obviously kiting them. Tech Marine's still down. Moutarde even now only has a Predator left. And obviously it's looking very very biased towards the red team. Roscon losing quite a lot of men, or units even, but so has Moutarde. But then again, AlliedGull and TheFragger have done a very good job at keeping their units alive. At least I think they have. Yeah, I'd say a fairly good job. Now Space Marine's moving up the side, some Terminator squads and a Force Commander trying to do as much damage as they can. Although losing 2 models in that engagement, I'm not sure what he achieved there, if anything at all. Although even though, like I said, even though the red team has such a massive advantage in the army count, I mean, Moutarde even has no units or a commander that's alive. He's now just waiting for his Predator. But I mean, you can see the 161 to the blue team and 113 to the red team. Red team seriously has not done a good enough job at capturing these victory points. Farsi are now going to go and decapture this victory point. The Orc army now moving. Now moving up. Guardian squads trying to... Oh, I was going to say trying to hold back the Orc tide as much as possible. Maybe could use some of the grenades of their own, not sure if they've already used them. Although they have all used a bit of energy, so I can only presume that that's what they have done. Slugger Boy might go down. 24 health, level 3. May as well take him down. Will he yeah, he escapes actually. That's rather unfortunate for the Eldar player. Almost capturing the VP, but just narrowly avoiding it. We now have a drop pod going down. Another vulnerable Dreadnought being dropped. And we have an Eldritch Storm as well. So not only were they knocked back by the drop pod, but they were also knocked back by the Eldritch Storm, and obviously when you're knocked back you cannot retreat. So scaring away and doing a hell of a lot of damage to the Orc army, kind of knocking it down to size really. Although red team having a nice spread of units, really getting some map control in. We now have 2-0 to the red team for VP points. And how much time do we have left in this? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I genuinely do apologise. This is not how I envisioned this cast going, but this is the 3rd time I've cast this game and I am really tired. I'm going to go for a nap straight after this. But yeah, Gene Stealers. If you're a Tyranid player, or you play as Tyranids, Gene Stealers. Just more Gene Stealers. I want to see more of them. They're cool. We just need more. Well, a very nice use of Warrior Brutes, obviously trying to engage these Terminators. Obviously in a straight 1v1, the Terminators will win, even in close combat, but they're just trying to engage them, stopping them from using their ranged. Swarmlord now just doing all kinds of damage, almost taking out this Tech Marine again. Might go down, and he... 1 health again, another. That's 2 extraordinarily lucky escapes. But yeah, another good use of Noxious Cloud, killing that Space Marine Devastator squad. This Predator might go down to Swarmlord, in fact it will go down to the Swarmlord, there's no doubt about that. And just so much death and destruction. We have the Warboss trying to capture this VP. More grenades going down. Excellent use of stick bombs in this, by the way. So, if there's one thing we've learned from this game is that you need more Gene Stealers and you need more stick bombs. I mean, where are they? They're just there. Plus they're coolest. They've got 4 arms. And they can infiltrate. How useful is that? Warboss might go down. Will he? Yes, he does. And now the Plague Champion is going to probably try and resurrect him, but... Well, oh, and now we've got some rocks going down, as well as grenades. And, as you can see, one massive... Just one single rock destroying the entire Howling Banshees. Very good use of the grenades and the rocks, by the way. He used the grenades to knock down the Howling Banshees, and then used the rocks to basically kill them. Obviously these stick bombs did not do any damage, but it just knocked them down so they could not retreat from the rocks. So bear that in mind if you ever want to use your rocks or your Eldritch Storms and you know, the opposing army keep on running away, you know, you can always do that and you can guarantee more kills that way. This Variable Dreadnought not having a good day. In fact, Moutarde not having a good day with keeping any of his units alive. And Avatar now just showing these guys what. It's going to make these knobs not wish they ever existed. In fact, these knobs are overextending a little bit. Red team getting a little bit too cocky, although mind you, 9, 8, 7. Will the blue team manage to... well, I actually already know what's going to happen, but very narrow escape from the end of the game. Will the blue team be able to regain this? I mean, they haven't got the army advantage. I mean, you know, AlliedGull and TheFragger has got quite a sizable force. Oh, we now have an orbital bombardment from one of the Space Marine players. Not sure who this was by, but more or less just destroying these, taking out one Chaos Space Marine squad. Sadly, not the one with the Mark of Zinch upgrade, but also seriously damaging the other one. We now have the Avatar just guarding this victory point, and now 2 victory points to 1 for the blue team. Will they be able to pull back from 4 to win the game? Another good example of another good example of combining powers. Farseer used her Gravity Blade, while the Avatar uses his AoE surround sound ability. Obviously, you can't run away when you're in the gravity, and so use that ability and just to increase the effectiveness of the attack. Obviously, Avatar might want to pull back. Mind, he doesn't want to engage in this Knob Squad by himself, especially now that they've had the upgrade where they... I think they've got the upgrade. Well, they must have, because they're glowing red. Trying to use that trick again, but sadly getting destroyed before he could do anything. Now 2-0. The red team getting a little bit cocky at the... oh, and now we've got another Eldritch Storm, probably. Yeah, another Eldritch Storm, stopping the red team from capturing this blue point for this blue VP for as long as possible. Red team getting a little bit cocky near, like, about 2 or 3 minutes ago, when they were just casually throwing away their units, especially I think it was down here where Knob Squad fell back. Moutarde, although he lost quite a lot of units at the beginning, or at least in the middle where he had practically, well, literally no units, he's now doing a very good job at keeping his units alive. His units alive? No, these points uncapped by, oh, almost decapping that, almost capturing that, which would have essentially meant game over for the... actually no, it wouldn't have, because then they've already decapped this, but if they cap this, that means they would have obviously had to uncap it as well. But yeah, as I was saying, he's done a very good job at keeping, you know, supporting this area with his 2 Predator tanks. 4 points to 23. All red team need to do is just capture this point and their natural, and make sure that no one gets, you know, make sure that they just have a foothold. If they just, you know, just do something. I'm not sure what they could do, but obviously they're in a very desperate position now. Noxious Cloud just kind of just standing there, really. I mean, I'm not sure what that's meant to achieve per se. I mean, with no one being there, that's just kind of, I mean, that would stop the blue team from capturing this, but there's no one really there to decapture it. And now the blue team they've more or less clawed this back. It was very well done and well played by both teams. But yeah, first time I cast this, I had like a really good round off, you know, just commenting on everything, but I simply don't care anymore. But thank you for watching this, and I will see you next time. Good night.